please come on up and lead us in our pledges. Thank you. Thank you, El.
Good and you?
All of our, my gosh, how many? Wow, are we impressed? Oh my gosh, we gotta take a picture. Darling, take a picture of all these veterans.
Especially just 1 minute. Who's got the time?
We've never seen so many. Thank you. Oh, you guys are great. Okay, well, you got one. Okay, here we go. And you can see the American flag here directly, right straight. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, now our Texas flag, please.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Yeehaw!
Now we sing the national anthem.
Someone has to do James.
Yes. Everyone should know. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much, folks. Okay, we're going to get started. And those of you that know me, you know I always do my intros. There's so much to cover here. But I'm watching the clock. I'll do it. If I don't do it within 5 minutes, I'll shut up. Anyway, all the food, those that brought our food, please can we give them an applause and thank them? A royal feast. And it's free, folks, okay? Please, we're not charging. If you want to leave a donation, there it is, okay? All right, so moving along, I do want to introduce some of our officers that are here and help us. And ladies, just please stand if you can. Oh, wave your hands. Daphne and Catherine and Connie, wherever you are, and Eileen, wave your hand so they know that you help us with our organization. Okay, we're a small ladies club, about 30 ladies, and they come when they can, and it's whatever. But and if you are a local candidate, wave your hand. Let's see how many local candidates. Oh my gosh, this is fabulous. Now we're gonna find out a minute from each of them, okay? Next Sunday, I'm doing the same thing, only we won't have these beautiful 4 candidates coming against Abbott. We won't have them here, but we will have our local candidates, and we hope you come. I'm really going after Congressional District 23. It's time to ask Mr. Gonzalez, it's time to retire. and get someone in there who does serve the Lord, okay? Because serving the Lord is for me the vital part of why I moved to El Paso, Texas from Seattle, Washington, all right? I looked up in probably around 04, 03, which city in Texas honors the Lord, and it's El Paso, folks. It was then, all right? More than 60% of this city worships the Lord on either Saturday or Sunday, just so you know that. And that to me was a driving factor coming out of Seattle where, oh my gosh, I only had my prayer group that I was with, volunteered with, and then maybe 25 Republicans. Oh my gosh. Anyway, enough of that. So here we are, and we're grateful that you guys are here. And so every candidate now, it's, let me think. You're going to first come up and introduce yourself, the 4 candidates. Please tell us where you're from, and how you got here, and why you're running. And you have 1 minute. And I'm going to tell you, our wonderful man who's our volunteer here who works with the organization and he should have come up and introduced himself. Grant, you want to come up and introduce yourself?
I don't have a timer, so.
Oh, you don't have a timer? Okay, who's got the timer here? I've got the cowbell. We're gonna have to time everybody. Yeah, because this way we don't go over. Go on and eat. Any of you new here, go eat. The food is free, okay? Yeah, please. We want everybody to, I advertise it as an elegant luncheon. Well, I don't know if you regard pizza as elegant, but you know, it's the best thing we could come up with. And then we do have, this beautiful couple here, Alva and Don Downey, stand up. And Alva makes all the beautiful homemade hot dishes that you see out there. She did them. And then we thank them every time. And then Eileen, she made the sandwiches, huh? You brought those wonderful sandwiches. Wow. So anyway, we are so grateful, okay? Anyway, so please come on up, the 4 of you, and introduce yourself. You each have 1 minute. So are we ready, Mike? Oh, you got it. Oh, wow, that's pretty fancy. Oh, we got a digital deal here, huh? My goodness.
Yeah, I don't know how they work.
Okie
How much time
dokie.
do we have?
1 minute. Each one gets 1 minute. Sir, and we'll start with Mrs. Brooks. Where is she? Yeah, the lady. Come on up, dear.
Want to use the cordless?
Thank you. Yes.
That would be safer. I turned it off. I think, Grant, I turned it off.
Is everybody awake now?
Shofar blast, right?
Let's go back to the.
Yeah, that wireless mic just doesn't work.
Doesn't want to right there.
Hello? Well, where's the amplifier? It needs to be turned away.
No, go ahead.
Hello. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's wonderful to be here. I'll only hide behind here for a moment for my 1 minute. My name is Evelyn Brooks, and I am running to become the next Texas State Governor. Author John H. Stormer asked the question, has America gone crazy? In Texas, the communists are winning without a war. They've taken over our education system, taking away the hearts, souls, and minds of our children, one legislative vendor bill at a time. And in case you didn't know, it is all about the children. If you take the children, you take the future of our state and our nation.
Right.
Right.
I currently serve my final year as your State Board of Education member for District 14. The children are my why. The young people are my why. I believe that this generation will be the decision makers who will decide if the United States remains free or a communist country. Are they ready? Thank you.
Okay, next, come on up, whoever wants to come next.
I think I'm loud enough. Can everybody hear me in the back? I'm Ronnie Tullos. I'm on the ballot for governor of the state of Texas. If there wasn't an issue, I wouldn't be here, or anybody else would. I think that it's time for a change, and the change has got to be new. We got to put new people in there. We got to get this moving. We are tired of dealing with the same problems every election season. We're still dealing with taxes. We're still dealing with the education system. You name it, we're dealing with it. Healthcare is all over the place. We got to change. The only way to make a change, you got to vote it out. I'm Ronnie Tullos, and I'm running for governor, and I want your vote.
Hello everyone, my name is Stephen
Oh,
Samuelson.
take the microphone, honey. You better take it.
You walk around with it.
Can I walk around with it?
Yes, sir.
Alright, thank you.
For 1 minute.
She's gonna give you
Alright, my name is Stephen Samuelson. I too am running for Texas governor. I'm going to tell you two exact things that I'm doing for Texas and the United States. One, right now I have a federal lawsuit currently in federal court where I'm arguing our First Amendment rights in the digital realm after a school district muted my microphone when I was reporting abuse against children, medical fraud, whistleblower protection violations, walked up to the podium, and all you hear is this.
That's terrible.
That's one. Two, on my website, I broke down every single House and Senate bill that was signed into law to go into author, sponsor, what the bill was supposed to do, the intent of it, who testified to it, how they benefit to follow the fiscal reports. Also, all the poison pills that was put into it without us knowing. That way, the whole goal is so that way you can go to your Texas legislators and ask those same questions as to why those poison pills were introduced and why those bills are going against you, to include $400 million going to unelected officials, to money going to private companies, and you can't file FOIAs to find out where they're going. Ask the questions. I showed.
Thank you. My name is Charles Andrew Crouch. I'm running for Texas governor as well. It's very rare that you get 4 of us in the same room, so this is a pleasure. You know, as an ex-Navy SEAL, man of God, a missionary, I have sold everything and followed the Lord in my life. As a businessman, I feel like I have what it takes to offer what Texas needs. What does Texas need? Solutions number 1, but an identity number 2. My first day when I am elected governor, I will declare Texas a Christian state in a Christian nation because that's who we are. Yeah. We need an identity. Solutions aside, you can have a strong border, a good economy, a strong electrical grid, a good infrastructure, but you'll lose your culture in the future. And that is the umbrella I am going to guide. You don't need to know about the nuts and the bolts of the car to drive the car. You need to have vision. That's number 1. Culture is huge. All the other stuff, there's lots of problems. Whoever gets in will deal with those problems. I offer solutions to those problems. But above that, culture and identity. Praise the Lord.
Hey, you guys, fantastic. Okay. Well, if you can open your folders up that I provided you, actually you're going to see the direction of where I'm taking you. I want to make sure that all of you, because only, I don't know who's going to make it through the primary, but it's vital that you guys hang in there and you help Texas. You don't quit and go home. Make sure you don't do that. We need candidates desperately. Hey, I'm from the Northwest, and there were no candidates that we ever had running as Republicans there for, Lord knows, almost 10 years before I got out of there. I couldn't take it. Anyway, so you are here for such a time as this, and we need you to stay active. Don't quit. Support whoever comes out to take out Abbott. And I've given you, actually, I try to summarize some of these things. So Abbott's had really 32 years If you people don't know, he served as on the civil Supreme, the Court of Texas. He served as a civil attorney there. Then he was elected to the Supreme Court by George Bush, and he was there. And then, my goodness, he quit a year to work in private with a private law firm. Then he came out and he was Attorney General. He actually followed John Cornyn. So John Cornyn was there for one term. And but Abbott did 3 terms as Attorney General, 12 years. And then from that, he rocketed right into the governor's office. 12 years, folks, 3 terms, time for him to go. But pretty much I summarized, I passed some of these out at my meeting a couple of weeks ago for my membership to understand where I'm coming from, because a lot of people don't know of Abbott's accomplishments. Of course, they're not accomplishments. They're the things that he has done for more than 30 years now for Texas. Oh my gosh. So for me, being an educator, and that lovely Mrs. Brooks talking about it, it's DEI. And in Seattle, we didn't, it wasn't DEI when I had to quit in the year 2000. It's just LGBT. It's GLSEN. It's the homosexual lobby that has come at us. Oh my gosh. In force. And then I ran for office in 2002 in Seattle because I couldn't take it to see what was happening there. The curriculum changed in the, let me think here, in the 1990s for junior and senior high schools, and that's when I quit substituting in those areas, for those grade levels. I moved down into elementary around 1990, and then stayed there till I had to quit in 2000 because they brought that curriculum into the elementary schools of Seattle. Imagine this gender dysphoria, this nightmare. I had a couple of gals come into my classroom and look at my sweet little boys and say, "Hey, did you know you could be a little girl if you want? And oh, don't you? And the little guy that's sitting next to you, you could marry him." Look, the sickness was so outrageous what they were doing. So that's when I ran for Congress twice, 2002 and 2004. But the demons were there, and that's another story. I'm not going to go into that because they're very active, okay, to take people actually like me out to the best that they can, and all of us that are standing up to defend children, because without children we don't have a future. It's the end of civil society. Marriage. I ran on marriage and the family. My husband, my second husband, he took pictures and he thought for sure they're going to kill you for standing up for marriage. Oh my gosh. And it was threatening, very threatening. And but that's all right. That's all right. I pursued it, stayed with it, and then we had to get out of there. In 2006, I moved into Texas. But anyway, so this DEI, and that was real big with Abbott, because he's responsible for promoting all these chancellors, whoever runs the Texas State University system, he put them there. And then for me, the crowning, and I've got 3 more minutes. Oh my gosh. He, in September of last year, of course they didn't expect probably Trump to take them all out, okay, with the DEI and the gender and all that stuff. One of the chancellors of Texas A&M, he quit, he resigned. But as he resigned, they gave him a $3.5 million buyout package. Why would they do that? Oh my gosh, that's outrageous. Sorry about that. And they gave him $3.5 million and probably a pension. And then they put that legal term out there that they would defend him if there's any lawsuits. Well, I'm going to do my best at Moms for America, Concerned Women, and some of these other wonderful ladies organizations. I don't know about this TFRW group that I belong to here in Texas. They're a bunch of, I think, more country club ladies, and I'm not. Anyway, so it's children that I'm after to defend. So Abbott, I figured, oh no, I can't take this. What's he done? And then we have wind farms all over Texas, if you haven't noticed. Oh my gosh. And so that big freeze in 2021, how many families, how many people died? I've tried to find out that froze in their homes. senior citizens like myself, okay? We lost cattle, horses, animals all over central and eastern Texas, okay? No excuse for that. He wouldn't turn on God's given resources that Texas has so much of. That's oil, natural gas. We probably have coal also. He wouldn't turn it on. He stayed with Obama. Only the wind farms and the solars and all that stuff froze, of course. What a joke. So you guys, I'm following this paper that you all have one of these, okay? And then of course the pandemic and what he did there. And then I'm talking about Sharia, oh Lord, mosques. And you know, on YouTube you can see a video there that actually he did along with Texas. We've given mosques more than $11 million to build. How much has come from our general fund? Outrageous. Where have they been? Where is the legislature been? So I'm going over this real fast. If you don't know, jihad is the major pillar of Islam. Okay, that is it, jihad, and that means violence. Yes. That means everything evil, and that's what's coming at us, folks. We have, which shocked me, I'm going to let you read the rest of that there. I want to show you a few things. I wasn't able to print everything for you. It's so unbelievable. This school district in northern Texas is actually advertising an Islamic Games for this school district. This is Colleyville and whatever the other day. I was in shock to see this. This is supposed to occur in May. And some of the school board members of this district were contacted. They said they didn't know anything about it. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's a huge thing that's online. It's available. I think I gave these four guys, these four wonderful candidates, Mrs. Brooks, a copy of it if you're not aware of it, because knowledge is power. We have to share what we have acquired, and I've acquired a lot. I've lived in 4 states, but I've been active in 3. So, my goodness. Anyway, take a look at this stuff. You're going to see Abbott's career, and then, of course, for me, I had to look at the number of mosques. Well, Texas is number 3 in the United States for mosques. New York, almost 600. California, almost 500. Texas, about 350. Okay, and then we got this epic city also. The name has been changed to Meadows. The Meadows. It's still being built, folks. How many Sharia courts? Who knows? Now compare it to Minnesota, which is the tip of the iceberg when they start going after the finances in Texas, as well as these other states. Minnesota only has about 100 mosques, okay? This was yesterday that I pulled this off the net. And then my former home state, Washington, only 60 to 70. Yeah, amazing. Anyway, I think I'm about done, so we're going to start. And I've given you guys the best of what I could pull off that I've been collecting, actually, for 4 or 5 years now. But some of my resources, in case you're not aware of these publications, this is in Primus. This is through Hillsdale, the great Hillsdale College that takes no federal funding. They'll send you their wonderful little newsletter once a month. The significance of the recently released Russia hoax. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, thank God for Tulsi Gabbard. She's going to put everything out there for voter fraud. I didn't even start with the EVMs, the electronic voting machines. I'm from Seattle, know all about these things. Anyway, so, and this is our COVID, this is the New American. This is fantastic. So this is the John Birch Society, which I joined in when I lived in Idaho. Fantastic articles. The Roots of Globalism, just to give you a synopsis of a few of their articles. But let's get started now, and here we go. So let me find my main paper here. So each of you, please, will be asked the same. I only am asking 3 questions, and I'm asking you to respond, and you'll have 3 minutes per question. And then after all 4 of you have presented, then we will have a Q&A. And the Q&A, your response will just be, you're allowed 1 minute, okay? Now I have to find my main paper. I mixed so much stuff here. Oh, here it is. I'm going to pull everything off this podium so you can put your stuff up here if you like. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Daphne, could you take this stuff and put them all in that folder for me, please? Everything that's there, that I'm giving you, please. Okie dokie. So the first question, you guys want to line up? Do you want to line up, or do you want to bring a chair up here to sit? What would be best for you? Whatever you choose.
I'm just standing up.
Okay, well, and I'm going to give you this microphone.
I don't know if I need a microphone or not. Maybe. Think so? Can y'all hear me? All right. Okay, here we go.
So all 4 of you are up here. If you want to come up here now, or however you choose to do it, you're going to get 3 minutes. And you see the wonderful digital timer that we have. Thank you so much for getting that. Okie dokie, so our first question is voter fraud. Now I can boom my voice, I have a big mouth. I've used it plenty of times with a lot of kids in a lot of schools. Anyway, cyber crime, it's called cyber crime. Another word is hacking. So I wanted to make sure all of you knew that in 2007 in my formerly home city of Seattle, George Soros set up a wonderful online voter registration organization called Democracy Live. Do you know that it's still being used here? In Texas signed up on it around 2018. 32 states are with this. They have to close it down. They haven't done it yet, okay? And I've gone into the Texas legislature. Oh my gosh, I went all the way, every 2 years. Faithfully up through 2021 when I injured my spine. That's when I stopped. They haven't taken it down yet. But that voter registration thing is governed by international, it's a totally international system, has nothing to do with America. And yet 32 states are using it. California went first because the state's so broke. All the counties couldn't afford to run their voting system. So they signed up with it. Anyway, I want you guys to know that. So, in the meantime, my question is, thank God for Mike Lindell and now Tulsi Gabbard. And we're going to see what's coming out, because she's going right after the CIA, I'm sure. And, who knows. Anyway, so your question is it time for Texas to end the EVM voting system? Electronic voting machines. Is it time?
Is it time to end it? Well, in my aspect, I believe that it should go back to the way it was.
Paper ballot?
Yes.
Okay.
And mail-in ballots, I believe, need to go away.
That's right.
100%. It shouldn't have never been a thought in the first place.
Right.
Okay.
Except for the military.
Yeah.
Except for the military. Right. Yeah, what you have your exceptions.
That's
of
right.
course. Yes, the voter machines, they're not 100%. Okay, I'm just going to be straight up with you. We see it every day. Things don't get turned in. We see it during the voting. Once they're in, they're in. It doesn't matter if they come up and said, "Hey, we just found all these." They was electronic. Doesn't matter. Hand in ballots needs to go back to where it was. It was no wrong. It wasn't wrong, or it wasn't a problem then, and it shouldn't be a problem now. It gains interest in other parties, though. It's a thing. It's an advantage to the other party.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Huh?
If it ain't broke, don't fix
If
it.
it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's absolutely right. Well, that's just it in a nutshell. In my thoughts, I think we do need to get away with it. Our population here in Texas has grown since then. And so they're trying to find, it's an easier way to get the votes in, and it's a faster way. But is it the right way? I don't see it being the right way, because now you have voter issues. You have people that swore up and down. You have people that, from what I understand, I don't know personally, but that's voted when they're dead. You know, my kinfolk probably voted. I don't know. I didn't ask them. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short. That was just pretty much in a nutshell. in layman's terms, I do believe that we do need to eliminate it. That's been my thought the whole time. And by God's grace, maybe that might just happen.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, everyone. So I actually have an initiative on this on my website. I don't like slogans, I don't like taglines, so everything I say you can double check on my website. You'll find a PDF under the Election and Transparency Initiative. That's actually one of the biggest things we need is transparency. A really small story. When I was dealing with my issues with the school district ended up sealing all the files. They ended up going to the Attorney General of Texas, sealed them all. We petitioned the Attorney General as to why those files were sealed, considering that they dealt with medical fraud, they dealt with whistleblower protection violations, and you know what answer I got? The files were probably sealed because they're damaging to the reputation of a government entity. That's the answer I got.
Was that through Ken Paxton's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Okay, folks, we're learning a lot today. Keep going, sir. Wow.
So within my initiative, I want to target transparency and accountability across the board, all across Texas. Everyone underneath one policy, one standardized policy amongst all of us. So that way, we're not missing something in one county that another county is doing separately. We're all under the same boat, all of us under the same transparency rules. One of the biggest notices that I noticed within the bills is that the state would mandate for counties to do something specific, but they would not give funding in order to make it happen. So what would end up happening? Those counties would pull money from one area that they were already using for something else in order to cover down. All that's going to do is do a trickle effect. We need to standardize it amongst everyone. So that way we're all under the same rules, we're all under the same transparency. That's it in a nutshell. If you want to look more deeper into it, like I said, I don't deal with taglines and slogans. Go to the very bottom of my transparency initiative. You will read a very long document on exactly how we can do it without violating the Texas Constitution, without violating Texas laws, and without dipping our fingers into the federal laws.
Okay, and your website is?
TexanResilience.net. And if you want to come up at any point, I got a whole bunch of cards. TexanResilience.net.
What is your name?
Stephen Samuelson.
Mrs. Cassady, I have an issue with this good packet you sent out. On here, it's encouraging us to vote Dr. Pete Chambers for Texas governor. I would just like to say, I would like you to give others a chance. I would like for you to verify and make sure that you do your due diligence to ensure that you are voting for the right candidate for this position. There are a lot of us who are in this position, and something that I want to highlight is that being your State Board of Education member for the past 3 years gives me an advantage for you to get more familiar with who I am. You can watch me how I vote. You can watch me how I stand for our children and how I fight both sides in order to uphold the oath that I took to get into office. I'm constitutionally minded, and I just ask that you give us a chance. I just ask that you would look and verify.
I wrote that before I knew that.
Oh, you were thank you, Mrs. Cassidy. Thank you.
I didn't know we would.
You would have me, no, you would have us here. Thank you. I just put that out there. I appreciate you.
Love you guys.
And you're such a teacher because she's
Yeah, that was our secret talk over here.
It's okay, it's okay. My time is running. For the sake of time, I appreciate you. I really do. I thank you, El Paso. You have welcomed me. You have taken out the welcome carpet, and I'm giving you a hard time. I love the teacher in you, and she's teaching us a lot, and we're here to learn and grow from each other. As a sovereign state, we have forgotten that. We have forgotten that we are a sovereign state. Better yet, our elected officials have forgotten that we are in a sovereign state and that we have delegated only a certain amount of power so that they can uphold that Constitution. And they're not doing that, which is why we have an election problem right now. We've been talking about this for years, but we want leaders of action. We want leaders who actually stand behind what they say. I am so tired of lip service. It's kind of like the Bible. The Bible says be a doer of the word, not just a hearer. Everybody is a Christian, if you hadn't noticed.
That's right.
Especially in this party, everyone is a Christian, but not everybody is showing it in their actions. Not everyone is upholding and putting our needs above profit, corporations, and PPPs.
Are you in favor of
I am not in favor of the machines. Let me get there. Okay, so now I know. What we have done is we have accepted federal funding, and in exchange for that, we have taken this EV in. That is the problem. We have to get DC out of Austin. And that is what I intend to do as your leader. We never should have accepted the funding, and we never should have given control of our elections to Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.
So the question is, get rid of the machines. I remember being a Navy SEAL, and there were a few times in the battlefield where you would get a gut feeling. And my gut feeling is, those things are corrupt. Not only that, you can prove it. You can do the full work of the Attorney General and just go online and look and see, yes, they are hackable. Yes, they are connected to the internet. Yes, they were accessed from other nations. Yes, votes were changed. You can see that. Is your Attorney General blind?
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He just has
He knows. He's a part of it. In the SEAL teams, I served in the SEAL teams, in the Sheriff's Department, in military intelligence, and where's Evelyn? In schools. You have both good actors and bad actors in every corporation entity. In our election systems, we have some bad actors. Texas and America is too strong militarily to take over.
We're praying, yes.
They have to do other things. The corruptions are corrupt, the elections are corrupt. As governor, what I will do is I will seek and destroy the bad actors for committing treason.
That's right.
Go ahead and shout it out if you know the consequence of treason in this nation.
Death.
You said it. I will arrest, detain, deport, perp walk, sentence, and carry it out. Not after years, swiftly. We're at war.
Can you state your name again?
Charles Andrew Crouch. You said it. You guys know the solution to this. The reason people commit crimes, deal drugs, steal bubble gum from the candy shop, cheat on elections is because they think that they can get away with it. We can argue about the machines all day long. The enemy wants us to argue with each other about paper ballots or not. Paper ballots or electronic machines, we're going to prosecute and set justice as a deterrence for more wrongdoing. A deterrence. I think our children need to see that crime does not pay in America. Amen. Otherwise, we're just a big ball of mush with nothing formidable. We got to know who we are. It goes back to identity. God bless.
Thank you so much. Hey, you guys, great. Okie dokie. Well, the second question now coming up is, and I always like to give a little lead in. You know, my favorite Attorney General, I hate to is really Ken Paxton. I've never been in a state, I've lived in 4 states, that had this, a man of, really of his, I believe his integrity, but I don't know what he did with Abbott. That's right. Sued Obama how many times? Sued Biden. He's suing Trump too. Okay, anyway, but in January of this year, maybe you know this, Paxton came out and following, and of course, President Trump's closing of the Federal Department of Education, and I wanted to ask Mrs. Brooks about that, because of course, hooray, hooray, I'm all for that. Decades worth of DEI. So in Abbott's statement, his proclamation, that was January 19th this year, he memorialized more than 100 woke state laws. Well, where has he been then? I mean, declaring them unconstitutional, of course. And they stem from John Cornyn when he was AG, Attorney General, in 1999 to 02. Greg Abbott, Attorney General, 3 terms, folks, 02-2014. He actually covered all of Mr. Obama's term, huh? Anyway, so DEI, go to the Texas scorecard. You can check some of this stuff out that I'm explaining or presenting to you now. And then I like to look at this one organization called Mission America. The LGBTQ leaders here in Texas and across the USA are continuing to assault our children, our greatest resource. They titled the month of November as Transgender Awareness. Okay, and I want you also go take a look at the Texas BRB, that's the Bond Review Board. I looked at it, I documented 2 years ago all of the outrageous depths of the Texas school board system. It's shocking, okay? And nothing's being said or done about it, all right? And anyway, just to sideline, if you may or may not know, I didn't know this till I moved into Texas and helped one of our candidates run for the get involved with the Texas School Board. I didn't know that they are taking their money from the children and they can travel and go to conferences all over the United States. They're using the school children's money. They get their air ticket, their food, and their lodging for free. So that's what's happened to school boards across the United States. All right, that's what they're doing. So I can see the attraction for some of these, what would we say, ne'er-do-wells that run for the school board situation. Oh my gosh, they're traveling all over on the children's money. So for me, I actually advocate the money stay with the children. The money stay with the family. It goes to the family. If we're spending $15,000 per kid here to get educated, I want to give it to the family. Let the family go to a Christian school or a Jewish school. Not any other denomination. We can't allow them. We're a Judeo-Christian country. But anyway, my next question for you guys is, should Texas end? Oh, and on your papers there, I've given you a map from Texas Scorecard. You can see the outrageous assaults occurring to children. It's in your folder. If you haven't looked at it, would you please show it up, Mr. I've forgotten your first name. Stephen. Hold that up. Yeah, that's Texas Scorecard, giving you a map of all kinds of assaults, attacks against children here in Texas. And on the back page, it has the key of what the assaults were. Look at, this is outrageous. And do we hear, how many of these, ever hear Abbott talk about this? Okay, so this question comes to my heart. Should Texas end public ISDs, which stands for Independent School Districts? Okay, so here you are, sir. You're going to start it.
All right, I'm number one. Remember that, guys. Is it on? Oh, okay, there it is. Our first problem is leadership in this state. Okay, when you got poor leadership, you have poor decision making. Okay, you're easily bought, and nothing gets done. That's why we have a problem in the education system now. Okay, nothing's ever addressed in this system at all. My daughter-in-law's a teacher. My neighbor's a teacher. I went to a school board meeting the other day. They want to talk about the, help me out, guys, off the top of my head, the vouchers. Okay? I talked to them that they don't like the vouchers. Okay? The superintendent of the schools. Then I talked to another teacher. She agrees with the vouchers. Polar opposite. Okay? But you got to see where they're coming from. And your question was, should we end
public education?
Public education.
Yeah, K through 12.
Oh.
Well, that was 1 minute. How many minutes do you want?
3 minutes.
Oh, you haven't gone down?
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, sir.
Hold that time.
Public education isn't the problem. Okay? The problem is first off, there's several things. One, you have to have God
Yes.
in your home,
Yes.
in your children. Once that's established, they go to school with a more mindset of education. They want to learn, not to go in there and cause problems and cause issues, not only amongst themselves, but everybody else around them. Okay? So the problem isn't just the system, it's the upbringing. Things got to change, and they can change. And once you recognize the issue, we can change anything. That's what makes the world go around. With the proper leadership in this state, regardless on who wins, God's already spoken, He's already going to win. We just got to play the part. You know, He already knows who's going to be governor. We just got to stay in it till the end. Everybody that's running here has got a mindset and a skill that is deserved to be looked at. That's why they're running. God put everybody here for a reason. There's no coincidence. It's not by chance. Okay? We learn a lesson either for ourselves or somebody else. Education is very important. It's always an issue. Yeah. Did somebody wait? Did you want to ask me a question? I still got 42 minutes. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Well, I hope you see where I'm coming from. And so I appreciate your time, and I'm going to go ahead and relinquish this, and I'm going to give it to my opponent. A little louder, guys. A little louder.
Stephen Samuelson. So, education system. When I went up to the school board, because after the first time they muted me, I didn't stop. I like being a thorn. When I went up one time, they stated that they had problems balancing the budget. That didn't make sense because they weren't a poor district. So I went up to Austin and I talked to a couple of my advocacy friends, and I asked them what's going on. They didn't give me the answer. They instead handed me a couple bills and said, research it yourself, because they know who I am. I came back to him after a couple weeks and I was like, hey, did you notice that there's about $10 billion being taken out of the education fund and being redirected? He was like, no, it should be about 5. I was like, no, 10. Now, it's actually closer to about 15 to 18 billion once you go through all of them. The problem is the belief. We have too much money going outsourced because it's not being followed. We have superintendents that are being paid $400,000 to only watch over 10,000 kids. How much does the governor get paid? $150K? That is absolutely ridiculous. We also have school districts that are teaching things that the parents aren't being informed about. We have bills that are being produced to pull books off, but then the school districts are hiding it back. They're putting it back on the shelves. Parents are coming back and saying, hey, we don't want this, we don't want this. Goes away, comes back a couple months later. When I was dealing with all of my issues, I was actually on the phone with the Department of Education OCR division. After about a week, it was sometime in the late December, they stopped contacting me. They stopped contacting me because President Trump got rid of the Department of Education.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's right.
This is why it's a good thing. We can redo our education system.
Thank you.
We can rebuild it from the top down. You're going to say, no, ground up. No. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to be? What do we want to do? My education initiative, which I had an idea on that, breaks it down so that way we teach our children how things work. We teach them exactly how things move, how East Texas is, West Texas, North, South. We teach them about ranching. We teach them about the trades. We teach them about the different things that they're going to need when they get a house. We teach them about electricity. We teach them about carpentry. I swear, when I was in high school and I was taking geometry, I was like, when am I ever going to use this? Until the very next semester when I took carpentry. Then it all made sense. I have conversations with kids that are coming out of high school and they don't know what studious means. They don't know where the beef comes from at their supermarket. They think that it just comes right there and just pops up. I'm like, you do realize it comes from a cow, right? No. We are failing our education system by what we teach and how we teach. My initiative is designed to revamp the entire thing, so that way we give our children a fighting chance for the future. We rebuild our education system, not from what it was 60, 75 years ago, but what it could be today. So that way we bring our children into the future. We prepare our grandchildren for a better future than what we had, so that way our sacrifices matter to them, just like our grandparents' sacrifices matter to us.
side every time you speak.
How about you do that?
You've got to do that. Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, a lot of good energy up here. I would like to see whoever gets into the office, I would like to see everyone else utilized as a team, not just as an independent.
Yes.
For one person in one seat in one mansion down there in Austin. So as a Navy SEAL, I still remember the Lord speaking to me and saying, I want you to get out. And all my Navy SEAL buddies were like, no, you're still a new guy. You're still just deployed once. You need to keep going and get all the war medals and accolades. Well, I got out and started a family. And we homeschooled for 10 years.
Yay!
I understand what is needed to grow a healthy soul and spirit into a mature, healthy adult that we will one day pass Texas on to. And that generation will take the torch of leadership sooner than any other generation has assumed the torch of leadership. And you're sleeping in your prayer closet if you don't know that. Should we get rid of ISDs? That was a question. It's not the ISDs, it's not the education department, it's nefarious actors and fraud in every department in Texas. There are bad apples and good apples. You have angels, you have demonic people masquerading as angels of light sitting on your ISD boards.
That's right.
I want to get rid of them, and I will. With the technology we had 20 years ago in Iraq, we can get rid of them quickly in a day, in a week. They're gone. You have secret societies masquerading as angels of light on your school boards.
Yes.
That's why you see all this corruption happening in the money and the pornography in libraries. So I have 3 administrative changes and 4 academic changes I will make to grow little healthy human souls that don't have soul wounds when they grow up, that don't have anxiety problems or any other kind of mental confusion like LGBTQ+++++. They cannot inherit Texas.
No.
They're mentally ill.
That's correct. Right on.
So, 4 S's. This is the 4 S's for you. I got a minute and I think I can get through it. Strong. Kids who start with 30 minutes of exercise every day have an IQ of average of 15 points more. They're able to sit and focus and listen to the teacher more. So we're going to do that. Right now kids are eating high caloric foods and told to sit. You can't focus and you can't learn. You get diabetic, you get overweight, and you take more pharmaceutical medications.
Yes.
That leads me to being smart. We're teaching the kids what to think instead of how to think.
That's right.
Smart.
Yeah.
Which leads someone to be sovereign. Because if you're sovereign, you'll follow God and not follow the herd to massacre. And so strong, smart, sovereign, and another S. We're also going to put teachers on a sliding pay scale, not a basic income. We're going to reward performance, and we're going to have some really good teachers come out of the woodwork, I believe. We're also going to bring back classroom discipline that teachers that parents can opt out of. Classroom respect is a big deal because teachers are getting burned out. Young teachers are saying, I don't want to go back there because of these kids. It's not the vouchers, it's not the money. It's the what, the content of what is being put into this beautiful generation. Sorry for going on.
Thank you. Our children can't read and write.
That's right.
They can't read and write. They can't do the math. They can't compete.
That's right.
During a business meeting in France, you know what the discussion was at the table? Was that our children are not being educated anymore. They're not the best and the brightest anymore. So I want to ask you what has changed. You have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of catching up to do because this is everyone's responsibility. Should public education, public ISDs be rid of? Absolutely not. It works. It works when the legislative branch is not in our back pocket. It works when we can take back control over our local community schools. It works when the government is limited and allows us sovereignty to decide what our children learn, how they learn, and where they learn it. Because of legislation, starting with the federal government embarred our homes. And No Child Left Behind, which leaves every child behind. Common Core, which makes everyone common. There's no achievement, there's no challenge, and there's no joy in education anymore. It's different from when you went to school. You see, we had real teachers who who were certified, who were trained, and who loved their job. They weren't in it for the fame, the fortune, or the money. We also had a time when we went to school where we were able to enjoy reading. We were able to just enjoy being a child. We didn't have a time where we had a computer in our pocket. We didn't live in a time where children became commodities. Our children have been sold out. Every time we take a grant, every time we accept something from the government, we have sold their future away. So what do I recommend? I recommend that we be given back our power. We have an Education Code 26, Texas Education Code. Parents shall be partners with teachers, with trustees, with administrators, and the education of their life. Is our state following that? Absolutely not. And you know why I'm running for governor? It's not because I have a lot of time on my hands or I don't enjoy being a wife and a mother. It's not that at all. There was a bill that was passed, 1605, in the 88th legislative session. And you know what it did? It gave the state of Texas the right to be a vendor, a publishing company. You can't even get A's and proficient scores on the STAR exam, but you want to be in charge of our instructional materials and curriculum? How is that going to give us fair market enterprise? How is that going to allow us to choose the best publishing materials for our children in the state of Texas? And then it was incentivized. And then it removed the State Board of Education, so we have absolutely no power over it. It's suggested that we give our input, suggested. And you know what happened? So there was a point where our chairman, he said, Member Brooks, I was about to give amendments to this horrible bill that we were faced with. And he said, Member Brooks, this is only a suggestion. The Commissioner of Education has full rights over this decision. I said, you are absolutely right. And that is when I decided to run for governor. You know why? Because I must govern to make sure the Constitution is recognized in this state so that we can give the power back to our parents, back to teachers, and who are qualified, by the way, and we protect our children. You see, all the laws that have been made have been harmful to our children. We're on a device instead of a textbook, on that individual computerized device. Do you know what our children are being faced with? Do you know the information they're seeing? So you see, we can't fix it. And that's why I'm running to be your governor, because I intend to take the public education system.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know, though, one of you mentioned a superintendent with 10,000 kids earning 400,000. Well, I live in a district here called Conatillo, 5,000 kids, and probably less, because if we all know, teachers, we know that in junior high, and a lot of those kids start dropping out. And why do they drop out? Well, there's nothing there for them. I'm a fervent believer in the trades. We have to restore the trades for the grade levels. We have to defend our boys. I'm a big believer in that. I mean, I have a husband, and I've raised a wonderful son, an engineer, quite talented young man. Anyway, it's the boys and all the drugs that I've seen dispensed over the decades, since starting in the late 70s when I started teaching, because the boys, of course, are wiggly. Of course, they should do extra. They should have a physical ed. A lot of the schools, well, they cut all that stuff out in Seattle. They're using LGBT. They're using spirit guides, okay? They've got into the occult in the Seattle Public School District.